Greetings, fellow horror fans. Well, our look at the Hellraiser franchise now continues on with Hellbound, Hellraiser II. In the past, British military officer Elliot Spencer is transformed to the Cenobite Pinhead after opening the Lament configuration. Shortly after her father is killed by Frank Cotton, Kirsty Cotton is admitted into a psychiatric hospital. Interviewed by Dr. Channard and assistant Kyle McRae, she tells her account of the events and pleads with them to destroy the bloody mattress that her murderous stepmother, Julie Cotton, died on. After hearing Kirsty's story, Dr. Channard, who is secretly obsessed with the Lament configuration, has the mattress brought to his home and convinces a mentally ill patient to lie on it and cut himself with a straight razor. The resulting blood frees the skinless Julia from the Cenobite dimension, and she subsequently consumes the mental patient for energy. McRae, having stuck inside Channard's house to investigate Kirsty's claims, witnesses the event and flees in terror. Kirsty meets a young mute patient named Tiffany, who demonstrates an amazing aptitude for puzzles. Later that night, Kirsty is awakened in her room by a vision of who she believes is her skinless father, who tells her in writing that he's in hell and asks her to help him. McRae arrives at the hospital, informs Kirsty he believes everything is true. The two decide to return to Channard's house. Meanwhile, Channard, seduced by Julia, has brought more mentally ill patients to his home for her to feed on and regenerate. Kirsty and McRae arrive at Channard's home. McRae is killed by a not fully regenerated Julia, and Kirsty is knocked unconscious. Channard and Julia kidnap Tiffany and force her to unlock the Lament configuration so they can enter the labyrinth-like world of Pinhead and the Cenobites. The Cenobites momentarily spare Tiffany when Pinhead states that she was not responsible for the solving of the puzzle. It was Channard's desire. In hell, the entity Leviathan, in the shape of a gigantic elongated diamond, rotates in space above the labyrinth, shooting out black beams which make Channard remember some of the atrocities he committed. Julia calls Leviathan the god of flesh, hunger, and desire, the lord of the labyrinth. Kirsty, who now possesses the limited configuration, follows them in. Pinhead and the Cenobites find Kirsty and tells her she is free to explore. Julia portrays Channard to Leviathan to be turned into a Cenobite. As Channard screams during the procedure, Julia reveals that she has a mission to bring souls to Leviathan, including Channard's. Kirsty encounters Frank Cotton in the labyrinth, reveals that he tricked her by pretending to be her father. Julia appears and destroys Frank her revenge for killing her, allowing Kirsty to escape. Julia is then killed by a vortex that opens within the labyrinth, leaving only her skin behind. Kirsty and Tiffany reconnect and attempt to escape, but are ambushed by Channard, who has now become a Cenobite. The girls flee and encounter Pinhead and Cenobites. Kirsty shows Pinhead a photograph of Spencer that she took from Channard's study, and he gradually remembers that he was human. The other Cenobites remember that they were human also. Suddenly, Channard appears and beckons Tiffany, who regains her ability to talk. Pinhead and the Cenobites attempt to fight him, but Channard easily overpowers and kills them all. Before being killed, Spencer exchanges a poignant glance with Kirsty. Channard traps Kirsty and Tiffany. Kirsty finds Julia's skin and wears to distract Channard, giving Tiffany enough time to once again solve the Lament configuration. Channard is killed and the door to hell is finally closed. The girls leave the hospital. Elsewhere, two moving men are removing Channard's belongings from his home. One is pulled inside of the mattress, and the other witnesses a mysterious pillar rise from within it. One of the faces fused to the pillar is the vagrant from the previous film, which asks the man, "What's your pleasure, sir?" Oh boy. So let's take a look at the production of this movie. Clive Barker returned as executive producer for the sequel. Tony Randall directed due to his experience of working with Barker on Hellraiser. Randall claims the dark tone of the movie reflected his own mindset on the world at the time. The picture is due to have a much larger budget but decreased after financial issues with New World Pictures. Nicholas Vince, who plays the Chatterer, received a hook to the jaw while filming a scene involving his character being impaled on a swinging torture rack surrounded by the many hanging chains. He also requests his character have eyes to help his vision, which caused some discontent with fans who derided the new design. A scene in which the character receives his vision was removed from the final cut, causing some confusion as at its introductory scene in Hellbound, featuring him in his original eyeless guise. Originally, there was going to be an extra scene during the ending when Kirsty and Tiffany are running from Channard. The scene was planned so that during their escape, the duo run into a doctor and nurse. The doctor demands to know what they are doing. Kirsty backs away in horror when suddenly the doctor and nurse turned into Pinhead and the female Cenobite before she and Tiffany continue running. The scene was felt to ultimately dropped from the final cut for two reasons. One was because the filmmakers thought that having actor Doug Bradley as a normal doctor would confuse the viewers. Another because the special effects for the scene turned out poorly, so it was decided to discard it altogether. However, a photographer who was on set took some footage of Pinhead and the female Cenobite dressed as surgeons, which were used for the promotion of the film, and were also used on some VHS/DVD covers of the movie, confusing fans and starting rumors about an infamous deleted surgery scene. Some trailers do show a few shots from this unfinished scene, as well as parts of another deleted scene with Chatterer stopping the elevator with his hand and jumping Christy and Tiffany. The lost scene was eventually rediscovered on VHS work print and announced as an extra for Arrow Video's Blu-ray reissue of the first three films in the series. British Shakespearean actor Kenneth Cranham, who plays Channard, claimed his involvement was due to his grandson pestering him to take up the offer, being a fan of the original. Oliver Smith, who plays Skinless Frank in the original due to his skinny frame, allowing the body and makeup to be realistic, reprised his role along with two extra roles as Browning, the mental patient with delusional parasitosis, and as the schizophrenic Christy sees in the hospital who writes, "I am in hell, help me," on the bloody wall. Composer Christopher Young also returned to compose a more bombastic, larger score and scope. For the horn-like sound supposedly emanating from Leviathan Center Hill's Labyrinth, he had the Morse code for word God incorporated. And now finally, let's take a look at an alternate screenplay. An alternate script with Christy's father, Larry, exists, written before Andrew Robinson declined to reprise the role. Many reasons were given for this, including disagreement over fees and a clash of schedules, although nothing has ever been confirmed. Dr. Channer was originally called Dr. Malahide, but this was changed by the director. It was revealed in the documentary Leviathan, the star of Hellraiser and Hellbound, Hellraiser II, from Andrew Robinson that he was not a fan of the script and said not to return as his character was finished anyway. Writer Peter Atkins said that despite liking Robinson as an actor, he was relieved that he declined, as it made the narrative work a lot better in the finished project. I definitely agree. So overall, this movie is definitely pretty good, and I like the fact that it does pick up sometime after the events of the first movie and stuff, so yeah. So overall, I give Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, 4 lemon configurations out of 5. Anyway, tune in more as we take a look at Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. So until then, remember everyone, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.